Hi everyone, this is Dr. Liz Popelka Brown, and I'll be your professor this term. I'm so excited that you're here. This video has a very specific purpose, and I don't want to digress away from that purpose, but I do want to say up front, in case you haven't gotten a chance to see the My Instructor portion of the course where I tell you a little bit about myself and kind of what I'm about, I really encourage you to go look there. I know that this course can be challenging, and I promise if you're doing your part, I will be a very supportive professor. You're going to see a lot of videos throughout the next 8 weeks. And the point of this particular video is to walk you through one of the major ways that you're going to earn your grade this course. And it's from completing what is called Smart Book and homework assignments. And I love the textbook. I really do. I think that for the most part, it's set up, to be helpful. But in my opinion, though, it's an interactive textbook, which is a little bit different from some. And as much as I appreciate the product that they made, I don't think the company did a fantastic job of explaining exactly how to use it. So that's what this is going to be about. Here in the course menu, I'm going to start off going to Learning Modules. And I am going to go to the Start Here tab. So hopefully you've been here to the Start Here. If not, hopefully you'll get there soon. There's lots of good information as far as the syllabus and how your grade is broken up. The most important thing out of this section to make sure that you notice is that the course readiness quiz, that's the quiz that kind of tests how much you've read over everything and know how the course is going to work. You have to have taken that quiz by Sunday to be considered an active participant in the class. So make sure you go there. And underneath it is this little handy piece of information called the Course Introduction Infographic. And I'm going to click on that. I'm going to scroll down. Again, lots of good information, just not the source of this particular video. And right here is kind of a breakdown of how all the points work here in the course. So again, I said this video was going to focus on Smart Book assignments. So this chunk of your grade, and homework, this chunk of your grade. So you can see the two of them together. This is a pretty significant portion of your overall grade, which is why I wanted to make sure I talked about it pretty soon on. And so from the Start Here, I'm going to go to Module 1, because that's where your first Smart Book and homework assignments will be. And you'll see that in week 1, you have 3 specific homework assignments here. You have 1 that's actually labeled homework, and then you have 2 that are labeled Smart Book. Okay, so Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 Smart Book are actually, it's an interactive textbook so that as you're reading the material, it asks you questions along the way to see whether or not you are understanding the content. So I'm going to go there first. You can actually just get there by clicking right on the link right here in the Module 1. So I'm going to click on it. And here I am in my Smart Book assignment. So the very first thing you might notice when you first go into the textbook is that it has a bunch of the material that is dimly lit. And which might make you think, oh, well, the book is telling me I don't need to read this part. I just need to scroll down and start here where it is not dim. And frankly, I feel like they make that really confusing because right here it says this section is highlighted because it contains topics that are especially important for you. And then if you go up to the dimmed section, it has a little warning or a little notification. Not a warning. This text is dimmed right now because it is less relevant for you to study. And again, that would make me think, I'm sure that'll make you think, oh, I don't need to read this part. I just need to go to the part that is not dim. And that is not the case. So the way that the textbook writers envision this is that you're kind of reading through it for the first time and you're just skimming for the key important pieces of information. So you are looking for, the highlighted sections. But then their intention is for you to go back and click. All you do is just click on the dimmed stuff and it becomes undimmed. You just got to click on it. And then they want you to their intention is for you to actually go back and read through all of it with it undimmed. And again, I know that that's really confusing because it's not laid out that way. So just know that that's their intention. That their research that they've done shows that go through, get the main ideas first, then go back and undim the content and read. And the reason that this has been especially frustrating for students in the past is because I mentioned, right, that as you're reading, you're going to be getting some questions. You get to those questions by clicking this practice right down here on the left-hand side. And comprehension questions pop up as you go through. Now, let's say I missed the question I look at this question, I'm like, oh, snap, I have no idea what the answer to this is. I can click on this little button right here, which says read about this. And pretty cool feature if you ask me. It takes you right to the part of the book that you need to answer that question. And then you can go back to the practice again. You can answer that question more confidently. So frequently what used to happen before I made this video for students is that frequently the answer to some of those questions popped up in parts of the book that were dim to start with. So people get kind of frustrated, and rightfully so, because they thought they didn't have to read it, and then it turns out that you do. Now, the number of practice questions you're going to get really kind of depends. It depends on how many you miss along the way. So it's a great idea to get these done as early as possible. And again, for this week, you have 2 Smart Book assignments. You have the Smart Book assignment for chapter number 1, and you have the Smart Book assignment for chapter number 2. And again, just to repeat myself, I know that can get a little old, but I feel like I can't say it too much. The type and number of questions will vary based on the accuracy of your answers. And it says the same thing for chapter 1 and chapter 2 Smart Book. So it would be great, the earlier you can get these started, the better, because we can't really guarantee how many questions you're going to have until you go through, because it's different for everybody. Now, the second type of assignment that you'll see in week 1. So the first 2 are basically, interactive reading assignments. Here we have homework. And these homework questions, again, I can get there just by clicking right on the link. So again, you see all 3 chapter 1s right here. So I'm going to click on chapters 1 and 2 homework assignments. Right here to start it, I'm going to be it. You'll see I have unlimited attempts. That means you can do this over and over and over again until the due date on Sunday night at 11:59. I'm going to click begin, and you will see that the homework assignments are different from the Smart Book assignments, because the reading Smart Book assignments are the same, are different questions for everybody, all based on your comprehension that you demonstrate as you're reading through the book. The homework are the same questions for everybody. So I would hit continue. I would get my first question here. Now, what is something that is pretty cool about the Smart Book homework assignments is that you can actually check your answers as you go. All right, so I exited out of 1 week, and now we're in. Do not look scared. This is homework that is, several weeks away. Don't get stressed out that you're looking at it right now like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this means. So it's asking a question for part A. I'm going to type in my answer. I think the answer is 2.1, which I obviously know it's wrong because I didn't round to 3 decimal places. But I'm going to go ahead and click it. And then right up here in the top right-hand corner, you see this nice little button that says check my work. So I can literally check right now by clicking it to see whether or not my 2.1 was the correct answer. So as you're going through and completing this homework, you are able to check it for accuracy as you go. And more importantly, if you realize that you're having kind of a hard time, you can contact me and I can help you work through it. Another super key component of the homework is making sure that you press the submit button. Oh my gosh, there's so many times that it's kind of little. Once you get through your every homework question, they vary. Most have between 8 and 10 questions a week. So once you finish all those questions, it tells you how many questions you're going to have. You see right down here at the bottom. So week 4 has 9 questions. So you've gone through all 9 questions. Make sure you hit that submit button. It does not send it to me for me to actually put it through Brightspace and actually include it in your grade if you don't hit the submit button. So please make sure you do that. And then you will also see, because again, I know how difficult this content is, I really do. So for the homework questions every single week, so you'll see module 1, module 2, they all have exactly the same discussion board that say pretty close to the same thing, except it's, week 1, week 2, and so on and so forth. And it says extra help discussion. And there is one of these discussion boards for every single week of the course. This is where you can, send out a Mayday and say, man, I'm really stuck on number 2. Somebody else stuck on number 2. Obviously, you can always email me too. But also, I will always post in here every week. I do that every Monday night. I post extra examples and videos to help specifically with each homework problem. So please look there before you start reaching out for help, because a lot of the time, students have told me anyway that my notes and my videos are really helpful, and that sometimes they forget that they're there, so they've gotten stuck on the same problem for 10 minutes and then realize, snap, she showed me exactly what to do right there. So always go there if you're having homework issues too. So the big idea is just making sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time on the smart book assignments, because again, the smart book assignments, I can't really say exactly how many questions you're going to have because it kind of depends. On the homework assignments, they're they're related to each other, but not the same thing. Homework is always going to be the same problems for everybody, and I will post lots of extra help for you here. Make sure you remember to hit that submit button, and always, always, always do not hesitate to reach out. I really, as I said, I promise I'll be supportive. I really just want to help you to do the best that you can, and I'll be standing by waiting for any questions. I'll talk to you guys soon.